Hello. Hey everybody, how you doing this afternoon? My name is Andrea Warren and welcome to Well World TV. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining me today. Let me tell you a little bit about who Well World TV is. Well World TV is a modern network dedicated to sharing inspirational and educational content from wellness experts from all over the world. So if you're new, and like I said, you're joining us for the first time and you want to learn about holistic health, maybe some different modalities with your spiritual practices, you are in the right place. So my name is Andrea Warren, and I'm your host for today for Essential Oils for In-Home Health. And I cannot tell you how excited I am. I'm a little bit nervous, so I have my handy dandy notes to keep me on task for your sake as well as mine, because I get so excited about essential oils, I tend to go off on a tangent. So let's get started. So before we dive into the class, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about myself, who I am, and why I am so excited about sharing my passion for essential oils. Thanks, Lisa. So my name is Andrea Warren. I'm a certified aromatherapist, certified health coach. I also hold a bachelor's of science degree in holistic medicine. And I have been using essential oils for about 16 and a half years. I started out just using them at home as a hobby, created a business from my hobby, became a formulator, have designed dozens of products for several different types of practitioners. And now I've landed just as a wellness practitioner, and I work with people one-on-one. I've also created what's called the alternative release technique, where I use essential oils to help people through emotional trauma. But today, the reason I'm here is we're going to talk about two things. First, we're going to talk about just a basic essential oils 101 class, because I see right now essential oils are everywhere, which excites me, but I think not everybody understands what an essential oil is and how they work. So first, what is an essential oil? To me, I like to get a little wooey here. It's really the essence, the soul of the plant. It's the life force. It's a part of the plant. I guess you could sort of compare it to our blood, if that was the way you're going to say it. Sounds kind of icky, but it's really important. It keeps the plant healthy. It keeps away, in many cases, predators. Let's talk about something like citronella. All of us know about citronella and how we use it in bug deterrents or insect deterrents. Just how it works on us, it works the same with the essential oil does with the citronella plant. And they also are extremely potent. And you'll hear me say many, many times throughout this broadcast, use the less is more approach. It's extremely important. You'll thank me later for that. And lastly, they are filled with a plethora of healthy benefits that not only help our whole body wellness, but our emotional support in so many more ways. And I'll be sharing a little bit more about that later on in the broadcast. So let's talk about a little bit of the history of essential oils. Essential oils have been around for centuries, not just the last decade. They are mentioned several times throughout the Bible. If you're talking about Cleopatra's, her beauty techniques, you cannot not mention essential oils. And lastly, Native Americans knew from the beginning this medicinal practices of essential oils and the spiritual practices were used. They used essential oils. They used them when it became time to move negative energy out of the tribe, or spirits that they thought may be following them along, or used during blessings of a newborn's birth. Essential oils were used in every aspect of a Native American life. Now you may ask, who should use essential oils? Everybody. There isn't a person that I would not recommend use essential oils. I recommend them for my two-legged and my four-legged friends, and we'll dive a little bit into that on another show coming up soon. Lastly, why should we use essential oils? We should use them daily. And I'm going to share throughout this broadcast some ways that you can add essential oils to your daily routine. But there's some things that I also think that we need to think about when we're using essential oils. Most importantly, just because they're natural doesn't mean they're safe. They need to be used with responsible ways, with caution, Understand what you're doing. Make sure you're using an essential oil line that is third-party tested, to me, it's all about sustainability and the environment, that where they're procuring these essential oils is done with respect to the land. So that is one thing that I definitely recommend people do. Do your research. Also, grab an essential oil safety type of book. There are many, many out there. My guru, who is Robert Tiersan, has an amazing book. It's simply called Essential Oil Safety. You can grab that on Amazon, and it is loaded with information for, like I said, for your two-legged and your four-legged friends on how to use essential oils. When we talk about how, I guess, to use them in the sense of how do I put them on? Where do I put them on? Do I use a diffuser? Are these terms that you've even heard before? So to the left of me, I don't know if it's to the left or to the right on your end, this is a diffuser. This is the most basic way to use essential oils. I love when people say, oh, I use it and it makes my room smell delightful. Yes, it can do that, but can do so much more. Especially now when we're talking about immune support, essential oils would be a great way to add those in during the day. When you're cooped up inside, it can be pretty stressful. Many of us have not been under the same roof for some time. So maybe you want to add some citrus or something that gives an uplifting vibe to the room. Next, when you want to apply them topically, again, use caution. Ways that you can apply them topically, you can use something like a carrier oil, and you may say to yourself, what's carrier oil? Carrier oil is something as simple as people love fractionated coconut oil. Olive oil is great for the skin. Argan oil is another one. I use that in my hair with essential oils. Whatever type of base, jojoba oil, you can add an essential oil to, and they're fabulous. Now, one of my personal favorites is I like to add them to what I eat, what I drink, and maybe a couple cocktails or two. But you need to, again, find an essential oil company that has a line designated just for consumption. The reason I say this too is because the FDA does not regulate essential oils like they regulate pharmaceuticals. Just like any other supplement that's out there, there's a lot of gray in there. And so what you want to do is make sure, again, that they're third-party tested, that they're designated for consumption, because the FDA, and not many people know this, will call something an essential oil if it only has one drop of that pure essential oil in it. So it's extremely important to know where your oils are coming from. Next, so we did a little bit of the basics, how to use them, why to use them, who should use them. So what I want to do now is I want to mention some ways that you can add them to your daily self-care routine. During this time, so many of us are stressed. Like I said, maybe we're under the same roof with spouses or partners or kids that usually go out for the day. And when our bodies are overloaded with stress, one thing I recommend turning off the TV. But when our bodies are overloaded with stress, this is when our adrenals get fatigued. This is when our immune system really gets almost more suppressed. So we want to bring in a self-care routine, and it's some of the stuff that I'm going to share now is super easy to do. I'm all about making things easy and practical, because if it's hard, you're never going to stick with it, and it's not going to continue with your habit. And what my hope is all of these amazing people are sharing all these incredible modalities. I know Laura shared some great meditation last week, and I'm going to share some oils that you can do with meditation. But my hope is that you take these modalities that you're learning now during this crisis moment and bring them into your daily habits. Because let me tell you, they will support you emotionally and physically forever, not just in times of crisis. So that would be my hope here. So let's talk about what we can do with our daily self-care routine and how to add essential oils. So first, I add essential oils the second I wake up. I don't grab my phone. I don't click on the TV. What I do is I turn to my right or my left. I don't know which side it's on for you guys. And I turn on my diffuser. That is the best way for me to gently wake up. I'm not that big of a morning person, not a huge fan of getting up early, but if I don't get up early, my day turns to you know what. But this is how I also set the tone of my day. And especially now, we want to really make sure we're setting the right tone because us, especially, and I don't want to just say this about women, but with us as women, we're home, our kids, even our spouses, if they're working from home, we are the ones that are going to set the tone. So I turn my diffuser on, I lay there with my eyes closed. Highly recommend. I know Laura shared some meditation. This is a great time to meditate. There's awesome, I think there's apps like Insight Timer or follow one of Laura's meditations. Use oils that bring you up. For me, it's citrus because I was raised in Florida, and so much about essential oil is connected to the subconscious and memory and happy times that I had when I was a kid. I used to ride horses in the orange groves. So for me, citrus oils is something that just brings me up immediately. So that's the first way. So start your day with just a beautiful blend, whatever that is, because I always say to people too, I could easily give you a textbook answer for any essential oil question that you ask me. But I truly believe many of the times the essential oils choose us as much as we choose them. So find some oils that speak to you. If you're a floral person, maybe jasmine or rose. Or if you're somebody like Laura just mentioned here that she uses eucalyptus at night, I have a lot of friends that love eucalyptus, rosemary, lemongrass. Those are great, gentle oils. Well, maybe not rosemary and eucalyptus, but they're oils. If you feel drawn to them, those are great oils to start your day with. Next, for me, I don't start my day, this isn't coffee, it's tea. And I like to add right now, because I'm looking for more immune support, I like to add oils like rosemary, maybe a drop of thyme, a little bit of oregano on my tea bag. I let it steep. Again, this is in there's green tea. It's delicious. Some of my other favorite oils to add a few drops on the tea bag is Thieves, and many of you have heard about that essential oil. It's amazing. But I like to start my day. It also kind of gets me up. I do use caffeinated green tea in the morning, but not in the afternoon. So this is when I start my practices. If I'm journaling, I have a diffusers all over my house. I have a strange addiction. I may put on my diffuser in my kitchen. And in the diffuser where I'm journaling, I use oils like clary sage and vetiver, maybe a sprinkle of black pepper or peppermint, just to, again, get me awake. Like I said, I'm not a morning person, so I need all the help I can get. As I move on and I move into the shower and it's time for me to really get motivated, before I step in, I grab a washcloth. I use eucalyptus and peppermint, especially now if I don't sound like I'm completely nasal, but I am. I add those essential oils to the shower and then I diffuse. I let it kind of steam up the shower. I close the door. I pop in as the steam is rising and I take a deep breath in. Totally supports the lungs, supports the respiratory system, which many of us are asking about now. So this is a great way to start with that. If you're somebody who suffers with allergies, this is a great way to help support that, your nasal passages. So I move from there. So I've got my shower. Now I'm moving on to my Cleopatra beauty routine. And I add my essential oils to everything. Oh, thanks, Christine. Yes, it is my birthday today. I have to admit, I turned 50 today and I'm a little freaked out. But anyway, I digress. So I add these essential oils to my beauty routine. I add frankincense for us ladies over 45-ish. It is great. Like I said, I grew up in South Florida, so hyperpigmentation, unfortunately, is something that I have dealt with for a long time. So I add these essential oils to my morning routine, my moisturizers, my face oils, my hair oils, everything, my lips. You want a little more plump to your lips? Add a little peppermint oil to your lip gloss, just a tiny bit. So I've moved on, I'm ready. Now, if you're somebody who likes to exercise, I'm an afternoon exerciser. I think many of you have seen me with my Wellness Minute. I'm always outside in the afternoon. But if you're a morning person where you like to do yoga, there's some great oils that you can do for that. So thank you. So some essential oils for meditation, that would be my first. Let me tell you, when I talk about essential oils and subconscious mind and meditation, this is by far my favorite way to use essential oils. And that would be diffusing again. You can add oils like cedarwood, palo santo, chamomile, again, whatever is speaking to you at that time, and you can create a magical meditation experience. I love it. It really gets me grounded. I am ADD-erific, so that is the only way that has helped me stay in a meditation longer than 2 seconds. So you can do that. If you're somebody who works out, I have a dear friend that does virtual exercise, and I suggested to him using peppermint. Peppermint is a great way to get you energized. Again, opens up that lung capacity. It's great for supporting recovery after workout. So you just take a few drops, place it on your hand, take a deep breath in, and away you go. So those are 2 ways you can add to your meditation practice and your workout practice. Now, I don't know about you guys, but afternoon lulls, especially at this age, unfortunately, I do have them. So instead of grabbing those cruddy energy drinks that are loaded with nothing but crap and sugar, this is again when I grab my green tea. This time I will put a drop of lemon and a drop of peppermint. If I'm struggling with some eating issues too, afternoon time, I tend to not choose properly if I'm feeling a little run down or fatigued. So I may add oils like cinnamon that supports insulin levels. I may add something like grapefruit essential oil, which helps support metabolism. So these are some of my afternoon break routines. So what's next? So I've done my afternoon ritual. I've gotten myself up. I've maybe made some amazing rigatoni and have added a small drop of oregano or basil essential oil. And now I'm moving on to my nightly routine. There are so many ways to get yourself prepared for sleep. And when we're talking about self-care, sleep hygiene should be at the top of your list. This is when your body repairs itself from all the blah you've been hearing all day, maybe running around with kids, whatever it is, this is the time. So having a really healthy sort of sleep hygiene routine, again, that mind-body connection is so incredibly important, and essential oils can help sort of set that in concrete. So the first thing I do like to take a bath, not all the time, but if I'm having a super stressful day or I've had a lot going on, or I know I need some self-care, that's how I can keep myself locked down for a little bit. So I get out my Epsom salts. I have a huge jar. Here's a little tip too. So if you're somebody who does Epsom salt baths, they have those huge glass jars. As you empty your essential oils, drop them in there. Let me tell you, the amazing scent that you can create by doing that, it's magical. But if you don't and you just want to add essential oils and sort of mix a few drops in as you drop your cup or 2 of Epsom salts in your bath, some great oils to use are chamomile, lavender, melissa is one of my favorites. Geranium is another. As you can tell, I'm not too florally, but for my floral friends, jasmine would be another excellent one here. Whatever you feel, again, drawn to. If you're somebody who's like me on the other end of 45 and maybe hormonally you're kind of feeling some great ways to support your hormones to help you into that better night's sleep would be something like clary sage. That would be another great oil to add to your Epsom salt bath routine. Next, I would say create a diffusing blend too as you're sitting in the tub. Ylang-ylang, again, geranium, lavender. There is a laundry list of essential oils that help the body kind of connect itself to sleep. And I want to dive in just a tiny bit here, and I don't want to geek out too much for you guys because I am a total research nerd, and you'll find that out as we do this. But what will happen is as you create these routine, your mind will start to connect that scent to that feeling and emotion. And that's the incredible connection between scent and mind. So as we do this, say I'm using something like peppermint to get me excited, to start the day. I may not have to go through that whole meditation or that whole workout. All I need to do is take a sniff And my mind and body connect like, wait a minute, when Andrea smells peppermint, we're usually energized, we're excited, we're getting on with our day. It works the same when it comes to creating your sleep hygiene. So as you get into these habits, and I always think of Malcolm Gladwell when he says to create a habit, you need to do 10,000 hours. The good news is when you use essential oils, you don't need to do 10,000 hours. I can assure you. As you start this practice and you get used to using these oils and your mind and body connect, then they will know, okay, it's time for me to go to sleep. The body will start doing what it's supposed to do. It will start kicking up the melatonin. It will start allowing your breath to be deeper and slower. And you may even start to feel like, oh, okay, you can actually feel my body. I can feel it. I can feel my body go, oh, thank you. It's time to shut down. My adrenals are like, bless you, child. I am tired. I am afraid. I need some quiet. So you've done your bath. You've created this amazing diffusing blend that you're using during your bath. You put on your amazing comfy pajamas, or maybe you like to sleep in a nude, whatever your call. And now you've created this sleep time where you don't have your phone on, you don't have your TV on, you're not looking at your Kindle, but what you are doing is you're preparing yourself this way. And this is one of my favorite ways as well. Add a few drops of essential oils to the bottom of your feet. No, I have not lost my mind. This is the fastest way to get essential oils from your toes up to your head. Reason being is when you put them on the bottom of your feet, this is the quickest way. There's no sebaceous glands in there, so they just go right in. It passes the liver, so it's not being processed and taking longer through the body. So it allows it to get through quickly. Like I said, helping you slow that cadence of breath, maybe helping the mind say, okay, it's time to turn off. Some great oils to use here. Granted, not the best smell if you're somebody who knows what valerian smells like. Rutavala is an excellent oil. If you're, sleeping next to somebody, put some socks on. You'll still have a little bit of a funk, but it is an exceptional oil to use for sleep. You'll hear me talk about cedarwood all the time. That is one of my favorite oils to use for my spiritual practices and my wellness practices. Lavender is another one. Rose is another one. And again, you could use all sorts of essential oils that you feel. And again, there's always a textbook answer that I could give you. And I want to also encourage you to ask questions when I'm on. If I don't get to them when we're on live, I am more than happy to, when I do the next episode, to start with questions that you may have. I mean, that part excites me the most. I love engagement. So if you have questions about essential oils or what you need to know more about essential oils, don't forget to add them in the comment section below. I thank you so much, Deborah, for giving me this opportunity to share my passion for essential oils here at Well World TV. I'll see you guys next week, 3 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. You guys have a blessed day and take care.